Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. I hope you're well. Well, it's a really cold, bitter day here on the allotment. It's about 8 and a bit degrees Celsius. I've just brought this out actually, so I'm going to leave it over there in the wind because the wind chill factor here, and we'll see how low it actually gets. This is the time of year when we need to cover up what you've got growing outside because the weather is starting to change yet again. Speaking of which, it's now absolutely going to throw it down. Well, I hope you're well. I hope you're still comfortable. Welcome to all of our new subscribers. It's great to have you all on board. I'm going to pop inside the greenhouse and then we'll come back out, hopefully when the weather's better, and we can talk about fleeces and what you need to do with them, how thick or how thin, and how much difference does it really make to the plants you're wrapping them round. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. Well, here I'm next to my troughs I put in, and I've got some fleece here, look. And, well, speaking of fleece, is it any good? Well, yes, it is actually, because it will protect your plants. You can get 30-gram fleeces, 15 grams. Obviously, the heavier it is, the more grams you have in your fleece, the tighter it's knitted, the warmer it will keep your plants underneath, which is good in this sort of weather here. 30 grams of fleece will give you roughly down to about -5 protection. You can buy specialist fleeces and specialists like made like almost tubes just to slot over your plants to keep them nice and warm. 15 grams will just get you under freezing. Obviously you can double up if you've got some. You can double up, so that the more you double up, the more warmth it will keep in to your plants. So it's really important when you're picking your fleeces to look at how heavy it is and see if you can find out what protection it will give your plants. This one here is a bit rubbish, to tell you the truth. It will help warm the soil, so I've doubled and doubled, doubled. It's just more of a cover. The fleece, as I said, more tight knit. If you're warming soils, of course you can put plastic over it, and that'll obviously, especially black plastic, if it gets any sun in, it will act like a solar panel. It will warm the soil up underneath. Wrap it, of course, as well, not just on your plants. Get it around the base of your plants, on the pots, in your growing area, wherever you're growing, and wrap everything up, because of course you still need your soil to be warm. So yeah, fleeces, the thicker the better, especially when it's of daylight today. We're still on, let's have a look here. Yeah, 8.4, but the wind chill factor, I wish this would tell me that. It doesn't do that, but I'm going to leave it out for a bit longer in a really windy position, and let's see if it does drop. Well, I'm going to pop in the greenhouse because it's just about starting to rain. Here I am inside the greenhouse now, and I'm going to sow some more onions actually. I've got lots and lots of 50 plus, well 100 I think in the bag I bought. These are in the bag and they've started to grow already, so I'll just pop them. As I say, be really careful of the roots. Put a little hole in your compost, this is pre-watered actually, and just pop it in. And then what I will do, I'll put a little bit more soil on top, just under where it's coming out of the stalk and the stem at the bottom. So they just pop in like that, cover them up, and then when they get a bit bigger, we can either leave them and we'll transplant them out once they get really established as plants. So I'm just popping those in. Let me pop those in. It's quite a rapid process. Once you've got your holes in, it's just, as I say, it's really, really good, really simple. That one pops in there. Pop that one in there. And obviously, we've talked about this before, a bit like garlic, don't push them in, because of course your roots are going to come out at the bottom end. You want that just lightly touching the soil, and then you can cover the rest of the bulb up like that, like so. Look at that. That's all nicely covered, or you can add more topsoil in there if you wished. And they're ready to go, so they're going to be labelled. I have some labels here, and I have a pencil. I need to buy, reminds me, I must buy a brand new permanent pen. That's what I meant to say, brand new permanent pen. Right. Jack-o'-lanterns, fantastic idea. These can now be sown between March and May, and we'll get quite a lot in here. Let's see, 10 seeds actually, and they were 99p. Interesting, this firm, Wilco in the UK, went to receivership, liquidation and all that, closed all the stores down, but they've been bought out by another store. The interesting thing is, I went online yesterday to try and buy some compost, and the name came up, and I thought, well, why is it still in existence? I found out that a local store, the owner of the, and they're a huge store now, they're all over the country, they bought Wilco out, bought the name, and they've got a little bit of Wilco within their store. And the reason I'm mentioning it in the name is because this, a named brand packet, same amount of seeds, same pumpkin. This was 99p, the others were £2.50. So you're saving a lot of money by going Wilco. And Wilco have always been brilliant for seeds, absolute germinate seeds. And the same here as well. I mean, these have been cheaper. These are band B. These are my little carrots. I'm going to grow these in my raised area, and I might even just put them into tubs because they're only short, and they were 79p. And in there it says, I'm sure it says 1,000 seeds for 79p. I can't even work maths out on that. I'm not going to plant 1,000 of those, by the way, but hopefully they'll grow in my troughs and in buckets this year. Might even try them in my my old Belfast sink that I've got on the allotment. I keep moving it, but by gum, it's really heavy. So pumpkins, let's open this pumpkin pack while we're talking here. As I said, I hate this because you've now got to try and get into the packet, and I like to put it back up. The problem with the seeds is, and I'm hoping these are in a bag, but I reckon they're not. No, they're not. They're just free seeds, as in they're in the bag, not inside another bag. I've tried to find my pumpkin seeds, but I think I got some mice in my shed, and they got into where these were stored. Stupidly, didn't have them in a plastic container. Pumpkin seeds, they go on their sides. Pop them on the edges because that's how it will root and grow from. They don't like it on there, get too damp. If it's flat, get them on the edges, and you can put one. So I've got my little things, put just one per pot. There you go. On its side, I'll take a photograph and put it up anyway. Pop it on its side and cover it with soil. Not too deep, as always, because as you know, as I've said regularly now, the food source to get them going is actually inside the seed itself. So you don't want them too deep because again, they will not come out of the soil. I've had a lovely message online actually in the last couple of days, and this chap says it's going to go away, but what seeds can he plant or sow that will survive without being watered? But unfortunately, as I've replied to him, a lot of the seeds do need water at an early stage. But what you can do is, obviously, like me, I've watered here, the soil's wet, and what you can do, obviously put more soil on the top and give them a good soaking. Not too much, because otherwise, again, they'll get all wet and mouldy and possibly won't grow. It doesn't help if it's cold environment because your seeds won't come up. So you need it a warm environment. Unfortunately, what that means is, of course, the soil will dry out quicker. It's funny, even since I put the new door cover on, the plastic door in here, I have to come every day and water because it gets really lovely warm, which is what you want when you're growing, but it doesn't help if you're going to go away. I've suggested maybe get some trays. So I've got these brilliant things here, and I mean, this was a massive one, and it's had some metal in at some point. It's stained it, but it's usable. I get them washed. Put some water in that and put your plant pots into that, and then they'll feed from the bottom upwards. If you're worried that they're going to drown, so they get too much water, you can buy capillary matting, which is a bit like just a lovely little matting. It's a sponge or it's just like a felt. Put your water in and water the capillary matting, and that will retain moisture, but it won't feed too much water up into your plants. You can also do your little capillary watering system. I'm back. So you get a milk bottle like this or anything like this, put it higher obviously than you're growing, so make sure it's higher than what you're growing there, and then all you do is from this put a bit of the capillary matting into that and lay it across, so that basically from here it will drip feed whatever, and then that water will go into the rest of the capillary matting and it will last. It won't put too much moisture or water into the bottom of your plants, but it will keep them watered. You can put them into a plastic bag, or don't just cover them, put the whole thing in. So you'd have to get a really big bag for this. You put the whole of your tray into a bag and it becomes a little propagator, and then it will, obviously it gets heat and it will keep going round and round, so the moisture will rise, it will create more water and it will drop onto the soil. So really brilliant. And well, in fact, we'll look at that in more detail. How did that start? Who used that watering system to bring plants back to this country? and we'll talk about it in the next show. And in fact, I think I've got a little video somewhere that I did a few years ago. I'll try and dig that one out. So yes, capillary watering system, a fantastic way to keep your bottom of your plants moist if you're leaving them for a short time. Of course, you can buy watering systems, you can buy the cheap ones, expensive ones, but actually making your own is really, really good. So I'm going to carry on planting now, sowing my pumpkin seeds. I put 3 in already, I think, or was it 2? Oh yeah, 3. So 3 pumpkin seeds. I'm going to try and put at least, well, I might put the whole of this lot in the hope we get some coming up. So, brilliant. See you shortly. I've closed the greenhouse up for now, so I've got my pumpkins in, I've done my carrots and my onions. So that's 3 good jobs done today. It's now 5.9 degrees. It's been where the wind is, so it's really a big drop. Is it 3-degree drop from where it was when it first came out? So it really is time to fleece everything up. Interesting though, there's a lot of lovely stuff going on. My rose bush here, it's got some lovely new leaves on it. It's shooting. It doesn't mind the cold. My raspberry bush, my golden raspberry bush here is coming back, and that's got buds on it. In fact, a lot of things are having lovely buds come through because they've been hardy. They've been here throughout the winter, that they're quite happy here. But a lot of things are covered up with fleece. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Before I go, I know a lot of you have been getting messages of having problems with stuff not starting, such as peas and broad beans and even carrots. Actually, really difficult to get going. It is due probably to the temperatures. You've not got them warm enough. If you put carrots in the ground already, which you can start to do, you can actually put cardboard on top, weigh them down so it doesn't fly away in the wind, and that will help retain the heat in the soil. And of course, you take the cardboard off once the seeds have come up, but it will really help to keep the soil warm. It's all about pre-warming soil as well, so get it covered up now. Help that, which I'm going to start doing with mine. I'm going to start covering it. I've got a bit of cardboard on now, but I'm going to get more on now in the open spaces where I'm going to start putting my potatoes in soon, and my cabbages and all the things I've got ready, my Kobe Roy. So yeah, let's get everything warmed up. Speaking of which, sunshine, I know you're up there somewhere. We need you out because we need a warm growing season ahead. It'd be great, wouldn't it? So yeah, cover everything up, get them fleece, get them warm, especially inside. Move them to a window that gets the sun if you can do. If not, you can buy heat mats, of course. You put them in plastic bags within greenhouses to generate its own heat and watering system. So hopefully your seeds won't become too wet and moist and then won't germinate. So yeah, it's a tricky one. As I say, I've had problems in the past with my peas. I'm amazed that they've come up this year. But then again, they've been in the greenhouse, they were warm and they enjoyed that. So yeah, I'll see you next time here in Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Ta-ra for now.